Yeah, very good evening. In the last session, we discussed about the three super global variables: get, post, request. Yesterday, we are unable to take the session due to power fluctuations. So these are the three variables we have: get, and one more is going to be what? Post. Other one is going to be request. What is the request here? Very simply, get and post and cookie is the combination. But right now we don't know about cookies, and you just leave this and we will talk about later. Right now, I have to discuss one important question. What is the difference between the HTML form methods? I'm specifically mentioning form methods, the get and post. Get and post. One important question. Get and post. Either small letters or lowercase letters. Now, same thing. What is the difference between $_get and $_post variables? Remember carefully. These are the variables in PHP. Variables, super global variables. You understand? So don't get confused here. When they're asking a question, if you haven't a clarity, you ask them, sir, you are asking HTML get form, get and post, or you are asking PHP get and post variables. So don't get confused here. Two things. Many of the people have confusion. When we are asking this question, if I ask, people are saying this answer, right? So see, I'm asking you difference between $get, $post variables. I'm asking you difference between the HTML form methods get and post. One of the mostly asked interview question, right? Try to see. First, we will go for this question, right? So let us see these guys here. So what you tell me, please. So we discussed in the last session, get method and post method. We concluded one point here. Get method is unsecured. Why? Because get method is always transfer the data via URL by appending. If you have a sensitive information in the form, don't use get method, always use post method. That's what we concluded, right? So what I want right here, first point I'm writing, get method is unsecured. If you can say this point, immediately they will ask you, interviewer will ask you, why unsecured? Because it will appends the form data in URL as a query string, You say like this, query string. So query string, okay. And sometimes the URLs may be hacked by the hackers. So sometimes URLs may be hacked by hackers. That's the reason. Next point. Post method is always secured. Post method is always secured. Because simple point, it will never append the data in URL because it will transfers the form data to server, THROUGH through protocol body, So it is unsecured. It is always going to be secured. Okay, this is the first difference, guys. Here, get is unsecured. If you say get is unsecured, immediately they will ask you why it is unsecured. You have to say it will append the data in URL. Sometimes the URLs may be hacked by the hackers. And post method is secured. Why post method is secured? It will always transfer the data protocol body. So the protocol body, it cannot show the data to anybody. It will directly send the data behind the network, behind the scenes, right? This is the difference. Second point, get method can transfers limited amount of data only. Why? Because do you know in how long the URLs are going to be? Do you know? For example, how long this URL is going to be? How many characters should be there in the URL? Do you know? URL max characters length, you see URL max characters length. It will vary, depends upon the browser. And you see roughly what is they're saying that 2048 characters only we can keep in the URL. You cannot keep. See, now I'm getting Google search. See how many characters are there in the Google search URL. This is one of the biggest URL. You see how many characters are total selected. 158 characters selected total. You see at the bottom of my editor, I'm able to see 158. So that's all. That is a thing. How many characters we can send under 2048? Sometimes it will depends upon the browser. Some browsers may send more than 2048 also. Some browsers will transfer the something like this also, right? 2048 also, or more than 2048 also, they can transfer. So what I want to tell you here, get method can transfer the data limited amount of data only. Why? Because get method means what? Data will always appear in URL. Limited amount of data only, that is around, you write the point, that is around 2 KB only, around 2 KB. So 2 KB means it may be 2 KB plus or 2 KB below. What is 1 KB? 1048. Yes, 1024. Sorry, 1024, 1024. That's why it's going to be 2048. Right. So if you use get method, for example, Andy, in your form, you are entering huge amount of data. But if you are using get method, will it transfer all the huge amount of data? No way. It will transfer the limited amount of data only. Right. Even you try this when you are copying. I copied a text with 10,000 characters. You submit this into the get method. It cannot transfer 10,000. It can transfer only 2048 characters only to the server. Right. That's why get method is unlimited limited amount of data only. Now, what is the thing here? Post method can transfers unlimited amount of data. Unlimited amount of data. So this is what unlimited amount of data. And one more thing, using get method, we cannot upload files. It is not possible. And file uploading is there, na? Resume uploading and image uploading, profile pic uploading. Such a kind of files you cannot upload by using get method. But using post method, keep it in mind. This point is very, very important. I will ask you after some sessions after, I will ask you 2-3 sessions after, I will ask you the same question again. You have to answer that at that point of time. Using post method, we can upload the files. These are the 3 differences we can see. Most of the people will say these 2 differences, and some people will say these 2 differences also. But we are saying one more difference is extra. Who knows this is, only server side people knows about this. Server side. If you are a front end people, you don't know. If you are a front end people, you know this and you know this. Only 2 points you can say, right? If you are a backend developer, so you're going to know about this also, right? Yeah, guys, sorry. So these are the thing. Now PHP variables. Let's come here now. What is the difference between the $get and $post variables? We'll see about this, right? Come here now. What exactly the thing? By using $get variable, $_get variable, not method variable, we can read the data which is appended in URL as a query string format, Guys, do you know one more thing? Generally, there are 2 types of URLs. Okay, let us complete this. I will tell you this after that, right? So by using this, what it is going to be, by using $_post, we can read the form data which is posted by HTML, which is posted by post method of HTML. Post method bracket lo raddam HTML form, just write like this, HTML form post method. So by using this variable, this is a variable, right? Write the point. By using this variable, we can read the form data which is posted by post method, and what it is going to be posted by something like this. Okay, not posted, query string appended URL data. That's what we can do it, guys. Okay, right. One more thing, guys. Try to observe this carefully. Here, what I want to do. Okay, this is all done, right? I told you, right? There are 2 types of URLs, right? So let us write this point also. Try to understand 2 types of URLs. One is going to be query string based URLs. Already we know this is going to be query string based URLs. Then how it will look like, you see, HTTP, some HTTP or HTTPS, some domain example.com slash, okay, some test.php, whatever it may be, question mark, ID equal to 1, and city, something called HYD, and state state equal to ts. It will be like this actually. And again, now you want to write something called pin code. See, these values we can pass to some other location like this. So this is what, if you can see question mark in the URL, that is going to be called what? Query string based URL. Query string based URL. So the next one is going to be, do you know anybody? What is the next URL? Anybody know? This is going to be segment based URLs. Second one is going to be segment based URLs. What is the segment based URL? It will be look like this. Can you see now? HTTP, some, okay, whatever it is going to be. The domain is going to be anything, example.com slash some test.p test. Okay, so there is no extension generally here. Test ID 1 slash city is going to be HYD slash state state slash t. It will be like this, guys, generally. So everything will be like this, query string based and segment based. So don't worry, so on, so on, so on, we can write it. You observe when you are visiting a website, try to observe the URLs. Some website URLs are going to be look like this. Some websites URLs are going to be look like this. For example, you just went to Google search. What is Google search URL? Can you see the Google search URL? So you see, guys, all of you, this is the search form. This is the search form, all of you. There is only one text box. In this text box, you are entering. What is I'm entering? So this is I'm searching. When you searching, submitted, the form is submitted. Search form is submitted. After submitting the form, can you see the Google URL format? What is the URL format? Search slash. You see there is a question mark. After the question mark, can you see how this is all organized here? OQ is equal to something. And can you see now how this is getting all the values? Okay, whatever it is going to be, you people try to see. This is going to be getting the things like this. What it is called? Query string pattern, right? Q equal to something, OQ equal to something, AQS equal to something, source ID equal to something, IE equal to something. You understand? This is what exactly the concept of query string. You go to some other, for example, let's go to my website, gophp.in. I'm going to this website. Let's go and see this. And what I will do here, I just want to, yeah, let us show you. You will understand. You guys click any of the article, any of the post, whatever it is going to be. For example, I'm clicking on this. By default, it is going to be, you see on this coordinator for something. Yeah, close this window. Now you guys can see this now. See the URL. See how the URL is going to be. Coordinator for hyphen, it is coming like this. So this is going to be what called segment. This is going to be called what? Segment. So some URLs are going to be like this. For example, you see these are the courses. You see how this is going to be coming there. Can you check these courses? Now you guys can see. You see category slash courses. These URLs called what? You know, they are called what? Segment based URLs. These URLs called what? Query string based URLs. You go to any of the news websites generally. If you go to online news websites, most of the websites you will see as query string based only. You will see as them query string based URLs only. Just you guys can go and check it. Okay, now, right. So this is what exactly the concept, guys, here. Right. So now the next one is going to be, right. So finally, guys, here. So these are the two types of URLs, don't worry. But what is the mostly used URLs, you know? But in PHP, you will use these URLs only. But if you can go like frameworks like Laravel, Coordinator, always you will use this type of URLs. Why? Because there is an advantage in this URL. So because of this URL, we can do digital marketing, search engine optimization kind of stuff we can implement by using these URLs. Right? Exactly. Right, guys. So what is the next thing here we have? Right. So this is all about these three variables, guys, here. Post to, get to, something. And on the day, we created a form as well, right? And what is the form we created? Can you go and check this now? 1 minute, please. Let us go to this. Yeah. The form that is created, By you is going to be what? This is the form. Sorry, reading users. And one more thing I want to tell you guys, I forget to, how to get the form data within the same page. But previously we seen what? You see, we have contact.html, we have save.php. So what we did here in the contact.html, whatever the data you entered on submit, it is going to save.php. In save.php, you are able to read. If the method is get, you are using get variable. If the method is post, you are using post variable. Irrespective of the method, whatever it is going to be, we can use a request variable. Now, how can we process the form data within the same page? Can you do the same? Yeah, let's create this thing. So in real time, you will never use two page say now I cannot say never. You can use two pages also because of creating two pages. What, for example, if you have 100 forms like this, you have to create 100 PHP files also. Now, then it is going to be 200 files you have to create. Why should I create two files for everything? Let us create everything in one file and let us see how can we work with the functionality within the same file. Same form, earlier on submit the button, where it is going, this is going to save.php. Now you people see how I will copy. Let me copy the code and let me create a new file. Let me save. This is going to be form.php. But in this context, remember, the extension of the file should be .php. But earlier, what you did there, you made it .html. You know that .html cannot communicate with the database directly, server directly, database directly. That's the reason we are sending this data to save.php. Right now, our same form I'm copy pasting. And what is the file called? Form.php. Let's go and run this file. 8 p.m. March. What is the file we are having? Try to please observe this carefully, because in real time we will always use this only, right? Within the same page only we will process the form data. So that's why you have to aware of this. Okay, right now, right, the same code I copy pasted. I'm not doing any new thing here. So I'm removing this. So there is no action. If there is no action on submit, where data will go? Remember guys, all of you observe this carefully. If there is no action, that means what? If the action is empty, that is submitted to same page. Form will be submitted to same page. Now you see, save the file and on submit, by entering some data, you see I'm entering some data, I'm entering something. You submit this on submit. Where you went? Oh, I executed wrong file. Maybe I believe 1 minute, guys. Can you check this? Maybe I didn't refresh the page of form form.php. Sorry. So 1 minute, form form.php. Yep. Maybe is file is saved, action is going to be nothing. Entered some data and check it now. So now I'm entering something on submit. Where you went? I am in the same page, but where is the data? Entered data was posted somewhere. Where it is posted to somewhere, and that is posted to same page. When this is posted to same page, how can we read the form data within the same page? So how can we read the form data within the same page? First of all, remember guys, here just above the form, all of you see this carefully, where I'm writing the logic, just above the form, you want to process, you write open PHP, close PHP within the same page, right? Just above the form, I will always use it to write it. But above the form, you write anywhere, no problem. Above the form, no need to go for head section. Just above the form means that the top of the page and the line number first, or at the bottom of the page also, we can write it, no problem. But I want to write this, all of you see, print underscore r of $_post. We have two ways, and I just want to show you right now. At the time of loading the page, please observe that carefully. I'm loading the page. Observe this, all of you. I'm loading the page. You see, it is executed. Array data is empty. Why? Because you did not post anything into the post method. You did not post anything into the post method. Like this, you write $_get also. Get is also empty array. See, array. And you write request also, no problem. You write request also, it's not a problem. That means what? You can use anyone for reading data. But you see 3 empty arrays. Why? Because you didn't enter the data. Can I use get variable here? Is it possible to use get variable? No. Why? Because if the form method is a post, see, what is a get method purpose? Get variable purpose. Get variable can read the URL corresponding parameters. But if you use the post method, data will never append in URL, na? So you don't want to use the get variable, doesn't require. You can use post, you can use request. Request is a multi-purpose, right? So it can read data from URL as well as it can read data from a form. So you can use any one the variable, right? So now you see, right now both variables are empty, right now empty. Now can we go and check this? Now I'm entering some data, I'm submitting. Please observe this carefully. After submitting, before submitting, what are my arrays? My arrays are empty, right? There is no data. If you can submit this, can you see there is a data in my array? This is the post array. This is going to be request array. You see what is the data? Text box name, username, the value you entered. Text box name, email, the value you entered. You want to write pre-tag also. You write the pre-tags. For better preview of this is going to be, you write the pre-tag, semicolon. Now you guys can refresh the page. Confirm form, you see the data. So username, the value. What are these? Also, see, it is an associative array, na? All super global variables are what? Associative arrays. I told you one point, right? Yes. Whatever the data you entered in the same page, we are collecting the data in the same page. But we are checking. But here, remember carefully, how do we get the individual data? For example, if you want to get the individual data like earlier, so this way you get the individual data, right? Now what I want to do, I'm going to write the statements like this. Okay, but you people see the problem here. Either request, either get, anyone you can use. Sorry, post or thing, anyone you can use, but I want to use post variable only. You can use request also, no problem. This is going to be post, this is going to be post. Just I'm going to use the post. Okay, right. But earlier you printed the whole array. Now I'm not printing the whole array, but you see at the time of submitting the page, you are getting errors. You're getting errors. Why? Because undefined array key. Why? Because undefined array contain at the time of loading, is there array contain any keys? You tell me please. Is this array contain any keys? And this array is empty, na? If this is an empty array, at the time of loading, how do we read the data? When you can read the data? If user submit the form, then only we can read data, right? Without submitting, on load the page, how do we read the form data? There is no way, right? In this context, what do you do? Write one condition. What is the condition? In the same page, form is submitted or not. If a form submitted, how do I know form is submitted? Can you tell me, please? How do you identify? So you see, guys, I want to do one small thing. So you have to identify this. Print underscore r of, I'm writing $_post. Simply I'm writing like this. At the time of loading, what is my array? Array is empty now. All of you observe this carefully. Now you have to answer. My array is empty at the time of loading. Loading, no data. See, you are entering data, you are submitting, then only you will get data, right? Yeah, you submit this. Now you see you are having data in the array. Can you tell me, how do we identify whether the form is submitted or not? How do you say? By seeing this scenario, at the time of loading, my array is empty. Anyone guesses? Yeah, I'm expecting answers from you guys here. How do you say that the form is submitted or not? Whether the form is submitted or not. Very good, Chakri. If array has values, form submitted. If array is empty, form is not submitted. Yes or right? At the time of loading, your array is going to be empty. At the time of submission, array is not empty, right? So that, how do we write it? Array contain values or not? How do you know? You tell me, please. Yes, your answer is correct. How do we know array contains values or not? Yes. Any others? Are you there, guys? Others are there in the session or not? Yes, very nice. He's saying that count greater than 1. So what I will do, remember, if you want to get the form data, first you write one condition. If the form is submitted, get this data, right? This is what I want to implement inside of it. If the form is submitted, yes, I want to do this. Yep, this is going to be the same thing here. So otherwise, I don't want to get it. Now you print this also, echo $name, $email, $PASS pass. That is the data you entered. I'm printing. But what is the condition you need to write? Guys, try to see. The condition is going to be, you write the count is a method. What count method can do? It will count the total number of values in the array. So $_post is an array, na? So $_post is a super global variable of type array. So at the time of loading, array is empty, so that count greater than 0 I'm writing. greater than 0. At least, that means what? There should be greater than or equal to greater than 0 andi. How it should be? Count should be greater than 0 andi. If there is 0, I don't want to do anything, right? So you have to write greater than 0. So maybe, sorry, yeah, you written correctly. Yeah, perfect. Now you guys can go and check this. Earlier, you got errors, right? You got errors. Now you check this. Do you have errors right now? There is no error. Now you see, I'm going to write this and you submit the page. You see there is data you entered. On submit only, you have to get the data. Without writing this condition, can I get the form data? Okay, you see, I'm not writing this. This is a simple block of code. Will execute it automatically on load the page. You know that already. Now I'm refreshing the page. See, you have errors now. At the time of loading, how I can get data, Andy? So once a user entered the data and submitted, then only I can get data. You submit this, now there is no error. So I have to wait until user submits the form data so that the condition is going to be like this. You write the condition like this. If the post array is at least one value is there, we can process the form. If there is no values, how can I process the form? You at least enter one value. That's why count is going to be something. Save the file and you go and check this. At least one value you entered and you submit this. Form is submitting now. Remaining values are not coming there. Why? Because so you didn't enter anything. That we will check later. How we can validate the form if you submit without entering any data. That validations we will see that. Apart from this, right now our concept is what? How can we read the form data within the same page? Within the same page. This way we can read the form data within the same page, guys. Here, I hope you got some clarity. How do you get it? There is one more way also. Not only this way, guys. Some people will write see, this is the first way. All of you say to see. There is not a big deal. You see, the second way I want to tell you, if you're interested, you can go with the second way also. Okay, no problem. This is one way of getting star data. But inside this, they will take a name attribute for the submit button also. Let us take this is going to be submit or register. Any name you take it, don't take the same name for all the input fields. But this is also input. This is also all are inputs only. But every input should be unique name. I told you already. Remember carefully. This is the form basic. Don't take the same name. So when you submit the form, they will write this. Try to see. If do you know what is ESET? I hope you know this this method. By using this method, we can check whether the variable is set with value or not. Okay, try to see. $_post is a variable. So in this variable, let me pass the submit button. I'm passing submit button. Okay, echo submit button. Try to see. At the time of loading, do you have anything? Submit button value is not there. You click the submit button. On click the submit button, what is the value of it? Register. See, this is also coming when you click the submit button only. So in this context, what people will do, here they will write one condition and if I'll have to try to see what we will do if the form is submitted like this. Also we can write, we have to write is set of $_post of submit. They will write like this also. That means what? Form submitted. So this is also valid, that is also valid. So whatever you want, you can go with it, no problem. So submitted, if the form is submitted, now you see. Now I'm not going to have anything. Right now there is nothing. On click the submit button, this is submitted. Either one, either that way, either this way. This is called processing the form within the same page. Which one you want, you can go with. No one will ask you. So that is of your flexibility. You check it now, right? Let us enter some dummy data and enter some password and you submit this. Yeah, within the same page, you are able to get the form data. So this is what the concept of getting form data. Now onwards, remember how many forms I'm going to create, I don't know, but every form we will do in the same page only. Same page only. We don't want to create one file, one HTML file, one PHP file, something like this, right? This is a good practice to write always. Otherwise, unnecessary, what happening? A lot of files, the file size is increasing. For every form you want to create a PHP, and that is going to be big burden to us. So at the end of it, if you have 10-15 files in the project, and no problem. But when you're having a lot of number of files in the project, like 100 files are there in the project, what is HTML? What is a backend related file? Until you open the file, we cannot understand what is the related backend, something like this. Okay, right. Okay, this is the processing form within the same page. Okay, right. So within the same page, how do we get it? We have two things, right? Next variable is going to be the ultimate variable is going to be $_server. Yes. This is also one of the mostly and important variable in PHP. So what this variable can do? First of all, let me check this variable. What do? Let me create a PHP file. Try to see. I'm going to create a PHP file, new file. Let me save the file with a name called server.php or any name you take it, no problem. This is going to be pre-tag open, pre-tag close. Simply why I written, I will tell you. So that is HTML, right? Yeah. So guys, $_ server, SERVER server. It's a predefined variable. It's an array. By using this variable, we can get the complete information which is related to server only. That's the point. By using this variable, we can get the complete information about the server. All the information of the server only. A server and PHP environment, environment environments, and everything you will get it only by using this variable, right? Let us see this now. Don't do anything, guys, here. Let's go. It's a very simple variable. I will tell you some of the properties are very important in this. So this is the whole array. Print underscore r of, I'm writing this. Why? Because printer, because it's an array now. Can we print array directly? No, that's why I'm using printer. So why pre-tag will be, now you see, if you're not using pre-tag, what happening? If you use pre-tag, what will happen also, we will see. Let's go there. Let us execute the file with a name called server.php. Yep. You see, all the information is coming like this. You understand anything? No. That's why I'm adding pre-tag. This is going to give you an array. Can you see the detailed array? Yeah, this is an array. And what are all these constants? This is MySQL home. And where is our MySQL software installed in your system? So open SSL configuration, something like this. And what it is going to be, and PHP PRC, something like this. Temporary location of the system, HTTP host, right? What is the host name? Host name is always going to be localhost. In this, what is the host name? Mail.google.com is the host name. Such a way, here localhost is going to be the host name, right? HTTP connection, keep alive. Yes, it is connected, right? So in this, you please try to observe. So you take time, guys, after going home, when you're practicing, please try to print this array. Please try to observe. There are a lot of keys. All keys are capital letters, you see. All the keys in this server array are in capital letters. All are predefined keys. These are not defined by you, defined by me. Somebody defined PHP. Predefined keys all are going to be. We are not a person to do anything here, right? Okay. In this, there are two important questions, Andy. Two important questions. Expensive professional, pressure, whoever you are. So the important questions will be there. What are the important questions? First, you watch this. I will tell you what are the important questions. So you guys can go there. What is the information of the environment, PHP environment? So we written a point, right? So we can get the information of the server, PHP environment. We can get the information of the browsers, which one you are using. We can get all the information like this, browsers information also. How do we know browsers information? You know, HTTP user agent is the predefined and very, very important thing. It will give you which browser you are using currently to watch this website. So this is one important point. Interview question: how can we detect the browser that we are using currently? To access our application, I'm using Chrome browser, Firefox, or Safari now. How do we detect that? Okay, this is one scenario. And if you can go there, very, very important. How can we detect the IP address of the user? IP address. You are visiting my website, right? If you're visiting my website, I want to track the IP of you. From which IP you visited my website? From which IP you created an account in my website? How do we know? Yes, this is going to be what exactly the thing, Andy. All the information is going to be provided by this. Currently, which file you are executing? And what is the port number of the Apache server by default? 80 is the port number of Apache server by default. What is the Apache version and PHP version? You see 8.1 I am using, right? So something like this. And server port number. And I asked you, right? How can we detect the IP address of a user and a remote_ADDR? What is the IP address right now? See, you are in the local system. That's why you will get the IP address like this. You try to upload this file to live server and execute it, then you will get the live IP address of your system, right? Your system. I don't know. I have one file. Let me try this. Tutors. I don't know whether it is there or not. Server.php. Let me try this. If this is there, oh yeah, it is not there, guys. Sorry. I will upload some other time after that. Don't worry about it. Currently, which file you are executing? Which file you are executing? PHP underscore self script file name, request URI, and one more is going to be script file name. See, this is all the information you are going to get it, right? So, and you check this carefully, guys. Yeah, we are in the local machine, right? We will get always HTTP only. We are not getting HTTPS, right? So HTTPS, you want to get it, you have to bought something called SSL certificate. It is not free. We have to buy this in the hosting. So SSL certification, there should be something called SSL certificate. So if you can bought this for your website, then you can enable HTTPS for your website. Some websites come with HTTP, some websites come with without HTTPS. I mean, some are, you see, all the payment related stuff websites, if we can see, they will always come with HTTPS only. Some websites are there, they will never have HTTP. Yes, for example, if you can see, there is my website which is not having HTTPS. You see, codifynext.com. There is no HTTPS. It is going to be simply HTTP. It is what not secure. So to make it HTTPS, to make it secure, you see, if you can observe this lock symbol, you see HTTPS, and there is something called lock symbol. You see, this is going to be secured connection. This connection is secured. And if you can go and click this, what is this going to be? Your connection to this site is not secure. It will become like this. How do we enable it? We have to bought that SSL certificate. If you bought and if you apply to your website, obviously it is going to be HTTPS. So there is no problem. It will be work like this, guys. Okay, right, very nice. What is our next agenda, guys? Here, you see carefully. So one important question. So how do we access these individual values in this Sunday? You people see this now. If you want to access the IP address, then simply you write like this: echo $_server of, you write the capital letters, right? Remote underscore addr. When I'm asking you, whenever I'm asking you, sir, how to get the IP address of a user, sir, and you have to say this, sir, $server of remote address. You have to say, don't forget this. Next one is going to be how to detect the browser that is used by the user. So echo, you write this, echo $_server of HTTP user agent, HTTP underscore user underscore agent. All capitals, don't do any spell mistakes here. If you do spell mistake, it is going to be an error only. So it cannot works for you, right? So this is going to be the thing, and break tag. Now you see, this is the IP. We will get local IP only. It will be like this : :1. And the browser you are using what? Chrome. Sir, I'm not using Safari. Why Safari is coming? Some people may have doubt. Don't worry. This is the thing, all the information. Sir, I'm not using Mozilla. Why Mozilla is coming? Remember, what is Mozilla? Mozilla is a browser? No, guys. Mozilla is a standard. Every browser will follow this standard Mozilla 5.0 guidelines or something like this. Okay, that's why that is coming there. Don't worry. You execute the same file in Firefox, you will get the Firefox browser information. But there is some logic we need to write behind the scenes to detect the browser, which browser we are using. For that, we have to write the logic, guys. Okay, right. So let's go there. And I want to show you here server.php. You see, what are you getting? Firefox 112.0. That's the version. You see, in the Firefox, what is the IP address you are getting? 127.0.0.1. Based on the situation, it is going to be changed. In Chrome, it is showing like this. In something, it is showing like this only, right? So these are the two important things. But keep it in mind, this IP address is the mostly used concept in the real time. You don't know, guys. You are logged into Gmail. Do you know? You are daily login to Gmail. Do you know login Gmail is tracking your IP address? Do you know? When you are logged into Gmail, from which IP you logged in, which state you logged in, which city you logged in, everything they will track you. Which browser also you use it to log in, they will track you. Do you know? How do we know, sir? Every social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you know, always they will track our IP address. Don't be smart in social media applications. I'm telling you, they will always track the IP address of you. You are doing a small comment on a post, your IP address is going to be noted. Your IP address will always follow you. Your IP address will always follow you in the social media platforms. Be careful, whatever the activities you are doing. How? Every mobile device also having IP address. Do you know in Gmail, how do we check from which IP I was there? You go to your inbox, go to inbox. In the inbox, if you can go to the bottom, you see bottom of the inbox, completely go to the bottom. Last account activity, bottom right corner, you see 3 hours ago, click the details. If you can click the details, you see the wonder, you will get the information of the thing from where you logged in from the last these many days. You see, it is giving the information, guys. Here, something I'm getting unknown. This is going to be unknown. What is the browser I'm using? Chrome. If it is maybe unknown, I'm thinking I may be logged in some other location, maybe in somewhere. Last 10 logins of you, Gmail will provide you. What is the city? Telangana, India TZ. The IP address which I'm using in this is going to be, this is the IP address. My browser details are going to be same string, you see. The same string is going to be come to you like this. Which thing you used. Like this, we can track. So in social media also, keep it in mind, whatever the activity you guys are doing, keep it in mind, your activity will be noted based on your IP address. That's why it is very easy. The crime department job is going to be very easy, like police department. So how they will identify. People are thinking that, oh, so no one will identify me. I'm using somebody's mobile number. So are you thinking like this? Don't think like this. Always our IP followed by them. So anything, wherever you logged in, even a small comment you're adding, small post you're uploading, see, you don't know what is happening behind the scenes. I will tell you at the time of application development, how do we collect all this information which is not entered by you. So, but all the information they will collect it and they will save into the database for reference purpose, for security reasons. Right? So whenever you are creating an account in any website, they will ask you, please accept terms and conditions. Did you read the terms and conditions? If you can read the terms and conditions, in that they will mention to you, we are going to log your IP address. Right? You are going to track you by using your IP. Such a kind of points also they will mention the terms and conditions. Right? Right. So we don't have a habit of reading terms and conditions. So we'll check the checkbox and we'll create an account. That's all. Account is created. Such a things we will do, right? Yes, in that everything they will mention. Everything they will mention, guys, here. Anyhow, so no worries about it. It's not a matter, but we will show you how to implement this information all. Right? So like this, guys, here. So HTTP user agent, HTTP, remote address. And sometimes they will ask you how to get the currently executable file. Currently file which you are executing, and then you write this echo $_server of. You go there, capital letters all you have to use, not small letters. PHP underscore self is a parameter. By using this, which file you are executing currently, we can get that file information. You see, this is the file 8 p.m. March server.php. That is you are executing. That is you are going to get. You want to get the complete path of the file. Sometimes you want to delete the file. You want to get complete path of the file. Yeah, how do we do this? Now you see this now carefully. Echo $_server of. Try to see $_server of script file name. The capital letters script script underscore file name. You have to add this only. So because of this, you will get the complete file path. Can you see the complete file path? Yeah, complete file path. You want to delete this? How do we delete this? You know how to delete a file from the location. You can simply write unlink. If you can write in unlink, then what is going to be happen? Which file you're executing currently, that is going to be deleted. Don't do like this, file will be deleted. Okay. Right now it is not required. Just I'm telling you how to get the path of it, such a currently executable file path, right? Yes, guys, $_ file name. And what is the document root? Anybody know? Echo $_server of document root. If you can write DOCUMENT, document underscore ROOT root. That means what, where are your PHP files are executing, where you are saving all of your files. That means what? HD docs, right? So you go and check this now. It will give the document root of the project. This is going to be ht docs. So, and how to get the IP address, how to get the host name, how to get the server name. That means what you see. Now, if we can write this server underscore name, if you can write server name, you will get localhost, I believe. So what is the server name? This is the server name, right? You refresh, you are getting localhost. Do you know, guys, here, localhost has a IP address. What is the IP address of localhost? Anybody? IP address of the localhost. Do you know? What is the IP address of the localhost? IP address of the localhost. Do you know? Anybody? What is the IP address of the localhost? 127.0.0.1 is called IP address of the localhost. Do you know one more thing? Every domain has IP address. Do you know? By using IP address also, we can access the website, Andy. By using IP address also, we can access the websites. So for example, we have gophp.in. So if you know the IP address of it, we can access this also. IP address, if you know. So you don't need to write gophp.in. We can type IP address, some blah, 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 something like this will be there now. Something you will type it, enter, it will open a website. But remember, so we earlier in the starting days of web, we don't have domain names. What it is going to be called generally? This is going to be called domain name. What is going to be called domain names, and this is called domain name. So earlier we had a concept called domain names. Domain names are not there. Earlier, if you want to access any of the website, you have to access this through IP address. In the starting of the web, Andy, you have to work with IP address only. But it is not easy to remember the IP addresses. That's why they introduced the domain names. Domain names. So like, see, gophp.in. Is it easy to remember or not? It's very short and very handy. It is easy to remember. But is it possible to remember the IP address like this? Something? Is it easy to remember this IP address? Like this, how many IP addresses you can remember? That's the reason. So in place of the IP addresses, they introduced the concept called domain names. This is domain names, such a thing. That is the reason actually. So, and you see the local application, you're like working like this, right? You can work like this also, but 127.0.0.1 also. That means what? Localhost. You see, that is getting right. Whatever you are having, no problem. You can execute PHP files like this also. This is also a valid scenario. Like this also, we can execute it. Not only this, you want to execute this array.php, yeah, you execute array.php also. Maybe arrays.php, I believe. It is executing, and maybe file name wrong. You see, arrays.php is executed now. Whatever you want, you can execute it, no problem. So either in place of it, either you can write localhost, either you can write IP address also, we can write. So whatever you want, you can write it. So how do we get the domain name? How to get the currently used protocol? One important question, which protocol you are using, HTTP or HTTPS? Then how do we know this, HTTP or HTTPS? If you want to know this, right, to see the property we are having here, server underscore protocol. This is going to be PROTOCOL. Protocol is a property. It will be the protocol in its version, and you see the protocol I'm using HTTP and its version is going to be 1.1. If you execute the same in the live with a live URL, you will get HTTPS at that point of time. So this how we can get the currently used protocol information, currently used domain name, document roots, and the currently executed file names. We can get the browser information. Very, very important thing, IP address of the user. But in real time, Andy, I use these very rarely. I don't want to use regularly, but I used n number of times this property in the real time. Why? Because security reasons. You want to make anything to make it secure, definitely you have to track your IP address. Track your IP address. Any of the application which I'm creating, let me show you some of my local databases also. I hope maybe I saved this information. Let me check this. So in registration form, we will ask you enter to username, email, password, mobile. Generally, in the registration form, we will ask you like this. But you know, in the registration form, we are asking username, email, password, mobile, gender. But in after that, we will save the information of your IP address also. Let me see one of my database structures. Maybe you will get the things clarity. So let's minimize this. Yep. Go to databases. Let me check one of the DB. Yeah, you go to 8 p.m. July. Can you go to the users table? Yeah, users table is there. You see the structure if you want. Structure, if we can see the structure of the table, you see there is an IP. There is an IP field. So there is a token field. See, this is how we will create the structure. You see now, because these are all in the local machine. That's why always our IP is going to be what? ::1. You see, your IP is going to be what? ::1 will be there. Okay. I think I modified this, maybe, I believe. So remaining all are going to be what? ::1. You see, all some people are status is going to be activa, inactiva, right? Some people uploaded profile pics and all. Some people didn't upload the profile pics, right? So this way you will do the information, guys. Here, I hope you understand little, right? So, and means tomorrow, guys, I want to tell you, don't miss the session tomorrow. Tomorrow I want to discuss the new thing, session and cookie. Very, very, very important. First, tomorrow is all about why session, why cookie. Why session, why cookie. After that, how to work with session, how to work with cookie, what are the advantages of session and cookie, we will see you in the next session. Okay, tomorrow is what? Why session and cookie, what is the purpose of session and cookie, why should I use the concept called session and cookie concept, right? You also try to Google for it and to get the information, right? Yeah, that's, we will see you in tomorrow's session. Don't miss the session, right? Yesterday we don't have session only because no, only 3-4 people came to that. That's why we didn't take the session, right? Any doubts you have, carry on.